and very happy to see a lot of college students joining this program. A very big welcome to all of you. And definitely, I'm very sure this program is going to benefit you all very much. And today for this session, we have with us Ms. Padmaja. She's the founder of Financial Feathers. She has very rich experience in various insurance industry, and she's a SEBI and insurance license holder, and she's very keen to make a big difference in the lives of people, bringing about happiness through financial freedom. She's working with high net worth business owners, corporate executives, professionals, and celebrities to make very informed choices about how to invest and make the best out of their money. She has about 350 clients around the world and manages about 75 crores of financial wealth. And she wishes to spread financial literacy amongst the various people that she meets and the larger population. And interestingly, when I was seeing this topic given from CMA, I was actually reminded of a small incident in my own life. Like, some time ago, about 10, 12 years ago, one advisor suggested a good mutual fund. And with a small, very petty investment of 2,500 rupees a month. So, and it is about a 10, 12 years kind of a regular investment. And we enrolled for the ECS with the bank for an automatic debit kind of a thing. And today, when we look back at the portfolio, 2,500 rupees roughly, the investment that has gone into it is just about 4 lakh rupees over the years, over 10 plus years. And to look back at the value, like it's like 12 lakhs. 2,500 rupees is something, very easily we spend on a Swiggy or a movie or something like that. But if that can turn out to that big an amount over years, so planned investment can definitely benefit people, especially the young people when they start early in their life. I think, of course, that's what you would also be covering in the coming session, I believe, Ms. Padmaja.
Exactly.
So that's such a relevant topic, and I'm also eager to listen to what you have to say. And now the session is yours, Padmaja. Please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. It was an awesome introduction, and you are also started with a great live example of yours. You made my session very easy. So before I start, I just need a small statistics for today's participants. How many are students, ma'am? How many are working professions in this group right now? Could you please help me out?
Vidya, can you help us?
Of the 44, I would say around 25 to 30 would be students. The rest would be professionals.
Okay.
So roughly 75% of the audience would be students.
Yes, ma'am.
That's really fantastic. So I love to see there's no audience with mix will always help us to learn a lot of things from you and as well as from me. So before starting this, I just request all the audience, today's session, it is not a Gyan. Okay, so it is not like a one-way traffic. I need your participation. If you participate in this particular session, use as many as answers. It is right or wrong. No issues. It is not an exam, or the professors are not going to give any marks on this. I'm not going to give any marks on this. It is just on the flow, whatever the experience on day-to-day life. Money is a language everyone easy to understand, right? So before that, I just need your participation. I'll ask n number of questions on this. Okay, so then only we can get to know how it is understandable and how you can able to use in your daily life. Okay, can I get your okay on a chat box? That's fantastic. 7. Okay, 7 people said 10, 12. Okay, 13 people said okay. 14, fantastic. 15. Okay, superb, superb. Awesome audience. Today is a great day for me. You people are making me like a very easy and lightener to take this session in a very, very successful mode. So let's begin. Before beginning, no. So don't think that like she's starting with the question. Okay. So could you please tell me in chat box, Vidya ma'am, please help me out because I could not able to see the chat of answers. I can only see the numbers here. So just help me out. Like what are all the answers our audience are giving? Uh, Before no, like I just want to ask everyone. Everyone, please answer me this question. What do you mean by money? Any answers, please. Whatever it comes, please put it into a chat box. Vidya ma'am, can you help me out on the chat? Like, what are all the answers they are giving?
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
few seconds. Yeah,
Professor Sri Krishna says security.
fantastic.
Shakti Abhirami says wealth, uh, uh, which help people to run a life in easier manner. Main mean for living, our secretary says.
Okay, that's
I say
awesome.
means to an end. And Muruganathan sir says a medium for exchange of goods and services. Vishnu Prasad says key to live civilized life. Means to manage our finances. Our veteran executive member CAM Ramji sir has said that.
Superb, superb, fantastic. Very, very unique answers, which I
Nikita
never
says,
heard these answers actually.
Nikita says something we need to meet our needs and means in life. Ramesh Kumar says confidence to live.
Okay, okay,
Very
fantastic.
participative audience, ma'am, today.
Fantastic. That's really awesome. That's really awesome answers. It is a unique and each and every one are giving a very, very unique answers, which I
Meena
never
ma'am
seen that
says,
these many answers, right? I mean, different answers. Each person is giving a very, very unique.
Meena ma'am says money gives purchasing power. Faisal says connect people.
Yes. Fantastic. That's really give a round of applause to all the audience here. I'm so happy that no, we know what is meant by money with the different definitions altogether, right? But one thing everybody says no. So will money will give a happiness? Can we buy happiness with money? Yeah, there are some participants, they are just answering. Vidya ma'am, I'm sorry to troubling you.
Not necessarily, not in every way. Shakti says no, ma'am. Muruganathan sir says yes. Dr. Ravindran says obviously no. Janani, not at all. Tons of happiness. Mr. Ramesh Kumar, Ramji sir says not necessarily.
Fantastic. That's really fantastic answer. Yes, happiness no cannot buy from money. Okay, money only can give a freedom, right? That is what we are going to see. Financial freedom of today's topic, right? So one more question I just want to ask you here. What do you mean by financial freedom? Now only I told why you're asking the same question. அப்படின்னா கேட்கக்கூடாது. So the money is different. Financial freedom is different. So whatever you have thoughts, just pour it. Any answers, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Ramji sir says, being able to spend money when you want on what you want. And then we have Manoj Kumar who says to fulfill our needs and wants. We are waiting to hear that from you, Meena ma'am says.
Okay, I don't want to make you to wait for the topic. Let's get into a topic now. Thanks a lot, Meena ma'am, and each and every member here, professors and students. Okay, so today we are going to cover what and all we discussed. Okay, so safety, risk, true financial freedom, concepts, and building a financial freedom, how we can able to build the financial freedom on a step-by-step basis, how quickly. So today, no, everybody wants to make quickly. Noodles also 2 minutes. Okay, so like that, we how quickly we can just make the financial freedom, how we can able to build. These are all the topics, and very interesting topic, which I love this topic actually. Okay, let's see like how it would be. So, which I asked them, what is a financial freedom? So, I just want to ask you this picture. Okay, when you're seeing this picture, you might have certain views on your side, right? So, just participate. What is that? You don't require to chat in chat box. You can even tell me what is your view on this particular picture. What this guy is doing. Please, sir. Please unmute and tell me.
Says work-life balance.
Fantastic. Any students here? Could you please tell your views?
I think Mr. Faisal says purchasing a thing without seeing price tag. Janadi says a man running to earn.
That's really fantastic. Okay. So I took these sessions in several, areas. Like, so the people, the same question which I asked, people are given different perspective on this particular picture, and also the financial freedom topic. Okay. So earning lots of money, having no debt, and lavish vacation, bigger bungalow, bigger car. So these are all the many definitions what is in there in our minds of a financial freedom, right? So actually that is not a financial freedom. Okay, you can see the actual definition is having enough money to make decisions and choices that you want to make without having to worry about money. Okay, money, which I told you, can give you a freedom, not a happiness, right? So I just want to share a story. There is a true definition. Before getting into a true definition, I just want to share a story here. We might heard about when we are kids, and forefathers and grandparents used to tell about ஒரு வயசான தாத்தா இருந்தாரு, வீட்டு பின்னாடி வந்து ஒரு செடி வந்து சீட் பண்ணி he just want to make that tree to grow. So அது வந்து ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஒரு மேங்கோ ட்ரீயாவே வச்சுக்கோமே. ஸோ அது வந்து இட் க்ரோ அப் அண்ட் கிவ்ஸ் அ லாட் ஆஃப் ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் இல்லைங்களா. ஸோ பட் அந்த லாட் ஆஃப் ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் வந்து அவர் தாத்தா வந்து எந்த ஏஜ்ல வந்து அவர் வந்து ஹி இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் ஃபார்மிங் தட் when he is தாத்தா அப்படின்னால 60+ இல்லைங்களா. அந்த 60+க்கு அப்புறம் when he is seeding and farming and cultivating and harvesting, இது எல்லாமே வந்து he cannot enjoy. He will only his grandparents and grandchildrens அவங்க grandchildrens மட்டும்தான் என்ஜாய் பண்ண முடியும், கரெக்டா. ஸோ he cannot enjoy. ஸோ தாத்தா ஸ்டோரி வந்து நமக்கு நிறைய நம்ம கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கோம். So the fruits whatever we are getting, that we keep on farming and cultivating பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா when you will enjoy, correct. So that is what we are telling about. எப்போ நம்ம வந்து farming பண்ணணும், in the age of 60 or in the age of 5 years, in the age of 7 years, in the age of 15 years. That is what we are going to see. Okay. So what is a true definition of financial freedom is active and passive income. Could you please give me your answers? What is mean by active and what is mean by passive? You can give me your, unmute yourself and give me your answers. If you're not comfortable in chat, you can tell me, or you can chat and let me know. You can quickly complete. I don't want to bore you. Participation, which I told you, it is very, very important.
Active income is when you get a return on an investment, whereas passive income when the investment earns for itself.
Fantastic, sir. That's really fantastic. So, Ramji, sir, thanks for your participation.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So before getting into a passive income, I just want to ask you one more question. How many varieties of income generating activities are there with us?
This is Nitin, madam. Can we start saying by realizing our worth through our employment or profession or business? That's a starting point.
Fantastic, sir.
And probably the other investments could start from gold, real estate, stock market, debt instruments, equity instruments, whatnot. Anything that has a future value can be called as an investment.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. All the audience are know every point which I'm asking. You made my presentation very easy, right?
Dr.
Yes.
Nitin, who just answered, is the Vice President of CMA, and he's also the CEO for FLS Point Group of Companies.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, sir.
Sir,
Thanks for joining us. Today's my session. It is a great input that which you gave.
Sincere apologies, madam, because Vidya gave me a task before I got into the meeting. I couldn't complete it on time. So that's why I got it delayed, a bit delayed.
No issues, sir. No issues. No issues.
Please carry on, please. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Vidya, for the introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
As
As sir said, right? Okay. So the passive income is nothing but what you're making your money to work. As simple as that. Rather than you're working. Active is you continuously work. Okay. So as I told you, the example of a mango tree. So mango tree, when your the trees having a lot of mangoes which you are farming and cultivating and harvesting, right? So you can keep harvesting is not a right way. That is called the active income. So you keep farming, that is called the passive income, that will give you a fruits, okay, on a continuous and exponential basis. Okay. So what is actually the passive income? Passive income is a more than expenses which give you a freedom. So you have to create a passive income in such a way that your regular expenses, the expenses are different with the different individuals. There are different lifestyles in our, if you can take me, I have my own different lifestyle. Vidya ma'am is having a different lifestyle, and Meena ma'am is having a different lifestyle. Ramji sir having a different lifestyle. So every individual have their own different lifestyle with their expenses overcome. Okay, so if you are exceeding that should be meet up your passive income. We'll see like how it would be calculated. So active income, if it is stops, your passive income, it keeps going. That is called a financial freedom, right? Your passive income should always work. That is what you should not run for always for a money. The picture which we saw, you should not run for a behind with the money. You should make your money to work for you. The sources of income which we discussed, sir said there are different varieties of incomes like a profit. If you are investing into a fixed deposit, what you earning from the interest, that is called the interest which you are getting. And if you are having buying a stock or share which you are getting a dividend, that is also one of the passive income. The investments which you are getting and the profits which you are making, that will also calculated as a passive income. And if you have a royalty income, that will also call it as an income. Okay, so most of the richest people and the wealthy people, no, they have all these varieties of incomes. There are 7 varieties of income generating activities are there. But we are behind with only one activity, that is called the active income. Okay. So if you can see this picture, The rupee is a very bigger and the person is very small because he is behind with the money. Okay. The person who is showing a bigger and the rupee is showing a very smaller. That means to say that he is generated a 7 different varieties of a passive income. That is the reason rupee is like a kind of like a puppy dog. He's just taking along with him. Okay. So that is where the money should be work for you. We will see like how we will calculate financial freedom, which I told you that like the expenses, whatever the expenses we are looking into, that would be more than our passive income. Passive income should be taken care of all these expenses. What is that expenses? Household expenses, liabilities, and one of the sirs was told me the value, present value of financial goals will make you a future value. So these are all the things will be calculated. We'll see like how it would be calculated, how we will take it forward. Step 1, we'll just take one case study here. There is a guy who's in the age of 35 and he's very healthy and fit. He is having he feels that he will live till his age of 80 years. Today his age is 35 years. Okay. He is earning 35,000 rupees every month. So do you know what is an inflation?
Depreciating value of money.
Exactly. So inflation is nothing but whatever you purchased. For example, if you can take up petrol. So we used to travel in car, bike, right? So if you can take up a petrol from the down the line for 20 years, it was a liter 50 rupees or 40 rupees. Today, what is the petrol rate? Per liter 100 and plus, correct? So that is called the inflation. The rates cannot be same as you are going forward. So that is called the inflation. Rupee always depreciates. Interest rates, this is an example. The person who's having a 35,000 rupees and his total 35, today he's stopping his job. How much he need? He need to have with the inflation cost of 1.41 crores of rupees if he's having in his hand. He don't require to work for the same lifestyle what he is living. 35,000 irunda podum. It would be taken care for him till 80 years if the inflation cost is 6%. And if we can keep it thus fund into a fixed deposit, he will get 7.5%. Okay, higher fixed rate of deposit la vandu fixed income asset class la potar abdina, he can get 1.4 crores of a corpus and he will get a 35,000 month on month basis. Okay. He is not married and he's a single, if you can take an example. Okay. If this guy got married and he is having liabilities like a housing loan, car loan, and personal loan, how much it will come? If we can add up, it would be add up 26.25 lakh of loans are there. That is called the liabilities. Step 3. If you can take, he's got married and he's having a kids, what will be a goal? His child. Okay, his child, marriage and education, the cost of the child, for example, the child got, today's educational cost is 15 lakhs. Okay, after 15 years. So the educational cost goes into 47 lakhs. The same marriage, today's cost is 20 lakhs. If he's getting married on their kids on after 20 years, it would be 93 lakh 21,000. That means to say, his whatever how much we discussed, 1.41 crores. If he's having only 35,000 rupees salary, if he's single, it is sufficient. But if he's add on his liabilities and child goals, everything together, how much it is coming into? 1 crore 86 lakhs, right? So if did he achieve his financial freedom? He can stop his job and he can go for a financial freedom. He can enjoy this money. Definitely no, right? So he required a corpus. How it has been? He already done some savings. Okay, he might attended my session and he might save certain amount like fixed deposits 8 lakhs. He's having PPF 5 lakhs, mutual funds 10 lakhs. This total together 23 lakh he is having a savings. If you minus that, okay, so what is the conclusion? He still didn't achieve a financial freedom. How much is a shortfall? He's having a shortfall of 1.63 lakhs. Okay, 1 crore 63 lakhs is a shortfall. He still didn't achieve the financial freedom. So if we start early, which I told you the mango tree example, if we start early before 35 years, okay, he will achieve his financial goal with this, as Meena ma'am told, 1,200 or 1,500 or 2,000 rupees she started on 10 years ago. So which given a very good return as of today. So 15,000 rupees if he start with the rate of 10% or 12% or 15%, the time to achieve the deficit is this much. Okay. Before getting into what we expect from the investments, we expect from the investment is a safety, better return, tax benefit, and we need to have a liquidity, right? So before getting into this, okay, so what kind of risks we have to see that? So these are all the main things that like what we'll expect from the investment. How many types of risks are there in a money management? Can anybody please unmute and tell me? Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Yeah. Could you please help me out? Is anybody using a chat box, or could you please unmute and tell me how many varieties of risks are there in a money management? Okay, I'll tell you. So there are different varieties of risks. Okay, I'll just show you how it would be. Before getting into us, did you saw this person, Warren Buffett? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So I need a participation. Otherwise, no, whether it is system is working or network is freezed me, I could not able to know that, because if it is in a live session, I can understand, I can have an eye-to-eye contact. It is a Zoom, I could not able to understand whether the system issue or the audience I'm making sleepy. Kindly give your participation, please. So who is he? Could you please share his story? Anyone of you professors or students? Vidya ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
if you know, you can also participate, ma'am.
Sure.
Do you know him, Warren Buffett? Did you
Yeah.
heard about his name?
Yeah, Warren Buffett was one of the richest person earlier, and he mainly earned his wealth through investment in securities.
Correct.
And a very frugal person who started investing at a very early age, probably in his early teens.
Correct. He started his investments at the age of 11 years.
In the chat box also we have Mr. Muruganathan, who says one of the richest persons in the world earned money through the stock market, and Puneet sir says Berkshire Hathaway.
He is a chat person.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for participation. Thanks for sharing your views on chat box. Yes, he's a world richest person. He started his wealth management at the age of 11 years, seeing and understanding the stock market and how he has to make money. Started with the small, understanding the stocks and understanding the companies. He is very, very, calculative. He will see his goals and he will plan accordingly. He will reach on time to time, whatever the expenses which it is needed or not. Lot of money management lessons you can learn from him. So such an amazing person. He's in 90 plus now. Still, he's having a no great wealth. He's staying in the same apartment, okay, same car with 10 different suits which he bought from his secretary. Okay, so if you can see, I mean, if you have a time, you can just see his stories, small glance of the story, which it is available in all kind of YouTube channels. Okay, so he's a best example for the today's generation. So 11 years, he's created a massive wealth, but he might seen a lot of ups and downs. Okay, so he is what he's saying about the safety comes first. Why he's saying never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget the rule number 1. Okay, so I'll tell you why he's saying that. Okay, the risk which I ask you, there isn't a market risk, there is an inflation risk. Apart from that, there isn't a 2 more risks are there. That is an interest risk and also the liquidity risk. So what is mean by market risk? You might see in the Warren Buffett, he started his investments and wealth management on age of 11 years, which I told you. So from the 11 years to till his 90s, today is 90 plus. Okay. So how many ups and downs he might seen? Okay, a lot of stock market. If you can see that, I'll come to that point later in this. I mean, after these slides. Okay, so there are a lot of ups and downs in the market. No, so you need to have a patience when to exit, when to enter. These are all the analysis. If you know, you will understand the what is the market risk, how much you should take. According to the age to age, person to person, it also differs. Every human being cannot be same. Every finger cannot be same. Like that, you should have an analysis of how much risk you will take while you are investing. You cannot invest every amount into the same investment pattern. Okay, every individual have a different varieties of a patterns. I mean, if you are going for the shopping, you cannot buy no small size for you, right? I cannot buy like a large size for me. So it is individual person will have a different tailor made of stitching. Okay, the same way the investments is also will be differ to person to person. Inflation, which we discussed, the inflation is a silent killer. Okay, so we don't know like how inflation will be taken care our savings. For example, you want to have a very secured, and I don't want to take a risk. I just want to keep my entire investments and savings into savings bank account and fixed deposits. Will inflation will be taken care? Definitely no, right? So your money is going on a minus. Example, today's fixed deposit rate is 6.5 and 7, for example, senior citizens, if you can take it up. If you are investing, so for that particular age group and certain point of amount, whatever they need for their retirement, they can use it, but not entire amount. You can able to lock it into your wealth in that. Okay, so what will happen? The wealth cannot grow. The inflation might be 6% and your savings is giving you 7%, and your taxes will go off. At the end, your return will be on minus. So this is called the inflation, which you should be calculated. We will see that going forward, how it would be calculated on the inflation and the market risk. And which I told you, the interest. Interest is nothing but the interest what you are looking for. According to the goals only, you have to describe your interest rates. You can, that which I told you, that you cannot keep your money, entire money, into either savings account or fixed deposits. You have to decide how long your money needs. Okay, if I need a money like a down the line for 10 years, my requirement is for my child goal or my child marriage, I cannot keep my money to be get locked into a fixed deposits or into a any other I mean, not growing an asset class which it is not giving you better than beaten inflation rate. So what you have to do, you have to see how much risk you will take, how much interest that particular instrument, investment instrument is giving. These are all will come into a place to understand. And the third one is the liquidity issue. Okay, so the liquidity issue is nothing but, for example, I just bought a house, okay, 10 years down the line. I just need that money for example, after 3 years. Okay, so I bought into for 50 lakhs and I need a money at the like a third year, which I need an emergency. Can I liquidate that money? Or after 5 years, can I liquidate that money? immediately?
No, it may not be viable.
Exactly. So why? Because it is not viable. Because the real estate, you have to see the seller. And when your property is in that, you know that property might be like 70, 80 lakhs that particular year, third year. But the broker will say that like, no, it won't go in this particular area. The real estate is down, blah, blah, blah. So many things will come. What will happen? You cannot get a proper buyer and you cannot sell when you require. So you have to see when you want to liquidate. This is where when you are achieving a financial freedom, these are all the areas which we have to check. I just want to ask you one question. What should you focus on? Safety of money or safety of value of money?
In my views, both, madam.
That's fantastic, sir. Any other view?
So safety of money is required for insulating against risk. Safety of value of money is to meet the inflation.
Okay, that's really different view. Any other views?
We actually need both.
Okay, that's really
That's
fantastic.
the principal also should be protected, and the inflation also should be taken care of.
Okay, fine. So is your money is safe in locker? Money kept in locker, safe. But the value of money is safe or not safe? Is your money will grow if you're keeping in locker?
May become demonetized.
That is an awesome answer. Exactly, sir. So there is no safety today's scenario, as Ramji sir said. So it may be demonetized or there is no value added into that particular locker money. So you cannot stagnate your money in one place. That is reason in our what is that called? History says Lakshmi is always in a chinchalam. Abdina, I mean, it is always roam around. It won't stay back. Okay, she's also won't stay back in one particular place. She will roam around all over the world. So the same way, money cannot keep it into a one particular place in a lockers. So the same thing, the inflation, Meena ma'am said, and Ravindran sir also shared some views on both is required and one is required. And Ramji sir said value of money is not required, safety is required. Why? The loss of 100 rupees, if you can see this is actually the inflation on average has been 6%, eroding purchase power of 95%. Inflation is power of money is reducing, right? So for that, what we have to do? We have to understand more than this RBI inflations, every quarter and every year on year, we are seeing the inflation by the RBI. This year it is 6.1, last year it is might be 5.2, and coming years it may be 7. Okay, so more than this inflation from the RBI, there is a lifestyle inflation. What is the lifestyle inflation? Any answers?
Change in our lifestyle and you tend to spend more.
Exactly. Lifestyle is nothing but before we have no roti, kapda or makan. That means say food, cloth and shelter. This is only the thing which we had in a 20 to 25 years down the line. But today, zindagi na milegi dubara. That means say the life cannot enjoy tomorrow. So for that reason, every youngsters and the people who's working professions used to say, நாளைக்கு நம்ம இருப்போமோ இல்லையோ இன்னைக்கே எல்லாம் நம்ம அனுபவிச்சிடுவோம். So that is reason people started investing on a gadgets. இன்னைக்கு ஒருத்தருக்கு வந்து வேலை கிடைச்சது அப்படின்னா he will go and buy a iPhone or any high-end mobile phones. That is a first investment of the young employees or entrepreneurs who are all starting their career. And the second thing is that they just want to buy a house, so or a bike or a car. So these are all the main important things. Apart from that, there is another part like today Amazon, Netflix, or Hotstar, internet. Without a touch phone, we cannot survive, right? We are needed. How food is important. Without food also we can survive, but without that particular segment of a lifestyle we missed, that's all, we'll get depressed, correct? So that is called the lifestyle. How we will calculate that lifestyle inflation? There is a thumb rule, okay? This is 72 is a fixed divided by number of years. How it is getting doubled? So that is called the inflation. It is inclusive of your this one called RBI inflation. No, it is only for your inflation, just inflation inclusive your lifestyle and as well as the RBI inflation together. You can see an example here. 5 years, okay, 72 divided by 5, we can take it up. It is a inflation is 14.4%. If the 6 years, if you are looking into, the inflation is 12%. If it is in a 7 years, the inflation is 10%. Please use this, take it as a note of this thumb rules. Whenever you are investing, whether that investment is beating this returns or not. We are always see that 7% or 6% as a RBI inflation, but our expenses are there, regular expenses, right? So that also should be taken care for our financial freedom. Market risk, probably no, of getting a negative return given period of time is called the market risk. Yes, sir said that we cannot take a huge risk. We need a safety first. Our capital should be secured. I cannot take a risk, which I told you that you might seen Warren Buffett's story, which I shared with you. Okay, so I just want to give you a live example here. Sensex is nothing but a securities, stock market, whatever word we can use it. That is a stock market, shares, and F&O, whatever it is. Okay, so it is a Sensex. We'll call it as BSE and NSE. You're seeing this Sensex on 31st of March 1979 started with 100 points. Okay, I just given in, it is only a 2020, but today Sensex is 63,000 plus. Okay, so 41 years. It means it is a 41 years, 2020, but today we are into 43 years, right? 3 more years, for 44 years we are present now. So the Sensex has been gone up into somewhere around 60,000. So how to keep your money safe? To save value of money, you need to earn at least return. That means a post-tax, which I told you, we given an example of fixed deposit, right? So if you are beating this inflation, yes, your money is growing. If it is not beating inflation and your tax, post-tax return, it is in a minus mode. So risk in 1 year in Sensex. So whenever you are investing, we always say, don't put all your money in a stocks, even though if you know, you need to have a time period. See this 1 year, the person is invested, how much negative return has been created? 14 times the negative return has been created from the 41. Out of 41 period of a 1 year, 14 are negative. If you can see the risk of 3 years, it is just 7 times. Okay, it is a 39 periods. Out of 39 periods, 7 times has been given a negative. And if you can see this 5 years, it's only given a 3 times of negative. The same thing, if you can see 12 years, there is no negative, right? So here your money, capital, and also the safety of money and the value of money is safe. How much it has been given, your return, if you can see the 27 years, okay, 0 negative. And conclusion is market risk is high when you invest for short term. If you are investing in a market risk is low when you are investing in a long term. That is the reason you always have a financial planning on place and to have a goals on in place. If you have a, which I told you, the liquidity example of a real estate, okay, so the same thing, market risk, if you are taking into a short term, definitely you lose your capital. As I said, inflation risk is less in a short term, market risk is high. Inflation risk is a high in a long term, market risk is a less. So you have to prioritize your money management, how you have to take your risk appetite. Equity has outperformed, which I told you, which I gave you an example. It is in 100 points. I mean, if you are invested 100 rupees, okay, so it has been gone up in 40,000, 40,723 on a, it is a 31st of January 2020. Okay, this is a Sensex return, correct? So if you are invested in a gold, what is an amount? What is a fixed deposit? So whatever you are investing in a long term, which fetch you a very high return on a market. Here I just given a very clear example here. Monthly investment, for example, you are investing. You cannot invest lump sum, no, if you don't have. You can create your wealth in a EMIs. Not only in a housing loan, you can create a wealth in EMIs also. So 15,000 or 25,000 or 50,000, you can achieve your, which I gave you an example before, 23 lakh, 19 lakh, 13 lakh with a rate of interest. If your rate of interest is less, your investment is a higher end and your growth will also very less. If your rate of return is higher, your investment will be low and your return will also high. Okay, so you can understand this logic, right? Where to invest? Starting in equity mutual funds through systematic investment plan. How you can able to create a wealth, which I gave you an example of a mango tree. Start early with a systematic, very, very disciplinary way to reach your goals. Even you can achieve in the age of 35 if you start early. If I take an example of kids or when like students who's studying in a MBA first year or a degree BCom or BBA or whatever degree, if you're starting in the age of 18 years, if your parents are giving in a pocket money rather than spending, if you can start understand about this financial management, okay, start invest and start learning about this. So when you are reaching in the age of 30, there is a guy who created a wealth with the pocket money of their parents at the age of 8 years. In my community, there is a guy, he is also into a family of, in their family, CAs are there and their cousins are into ICWA and some other cousins are into CFP, CFP. Okay, so he inculcate the habit of saving. Whatever the pocket money from grandparents or any festivals is comes, they will give some money to for blessings. That money and all, he will just put it into a piggy bank and start saving. Okay, so when he started his career, he created 3 crores of wealth in his only pocket money, not even for any kind of a job or no part-time, nothing, only in a pocket money. So you can create a wealth even for the small amounts in a disciplinary way. Whatever you can control your understand and you can control your wants and needs. Okay, it is not that you don't require to ignore your lifestyle. Whatever you can enjoy your lifestyle and as well as you can start saving. When you are young, you can start invest more. When you are getting into married and getting into a responsibilities, you cannot save as you want. Okay, so when you are young and you are starting your career, don't get into a debts. That is what my piece of advice here, as I'm just giving a session for MBA students. Okay, so discipline is a key, which I told you, you need to have a discipline. Bruce Lee said, like, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. You understand that, right? So you need to have a discipline and systematic way you can create a wealth. Don't see the market, understand your goals, understand your risk appetite, and start investing early to reach your financial freedom on time. Even you can achieve less than 35 also. There are different varieties of schemes. Okay, so if you can see that number of schemes are available, 80 from last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. High returns has been given 16%, 16.93, 20 years it has been given 21%. Low return has been given at a 6%, 7%, 10%. Okay, so the average returns has been given in SIPs, which I'm talking about, 11%, 12%, 16%. So the schemes with 15% CAGR means nothing but compounding annual growth rate. I'll show you end of this session what is mean by compounding. Okay, so it is a 5 years, 9 years, and 32 years. It has been given a return, and the schemes which is 12%, 36, 41, 40. The schemes with a 10%, 61, 69, 45. These are all the realistic numbers, which it is all performance of a funds. Okay. And I just want to conclude with this. Before getting into this, I just want to ask you some few questions here. What do you understand of today's session? I just need an answers from the people who's just studying in MBA. Is the people are available, ma'am? Vidya, ma'am? Students are available or they left?
No, they're all there, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. So could you please give me your participation, how you use your pocket money and how you take care of your goals? I mean, you have any idea, like after you're getting into a job, how you want to take care of your goals? Do you have any idea of like a savings? Do you know any idea of like a cryptocurrency? No, today's generation will very, very fascinate about the cryptos, bitcoins and all. Can I have a participation from the younger team who's just studying? Any volunteers? Can you please unmute and say? They don't want to show interest on sharing any inputs.
There's one from the chat box.
Okay.
From Shakti Abhirami, ma'am, I would like to save my money through mutual fund or any other long-term investment.
Fantastic, Abhirami. You took a very good decision. Okay, so I will appreciate your decision. Just start, plan, and understand your risk appetite. If you want to have any questions, any doubts, you can just ask me after the session, or you can keep in touch with me for anything. So before getting into end of this session, I just want to show you one video. What is a CAGR, which I told you, what is meant by CAGR, right? So CAGR, there is a video. Can I see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you listen the voice of this?
No, it is not getting played, ma'am.
Can you play the video, ma'am?
Yes.
Now? Can you hear me this now?
There's no audio.
Oh, 1 second. I'll just share audio here. Share sound. Yeah, I think now you can hear that.
That he was no longer able to feed his family.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
audible.
He decided to set out for the palace and
Audio is,
appeal to the generosity of the king.
Can you listen the audio?
Upon being summoned by the king, he started reciting his poems.
Is it audible, sir? Is it audible? Video?
Yeah, it is audible. Audible.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. The king, well pleased, asked him to name his reward. Pointing to the finely wrought chessboard, the poet said, Your Highness, if you place just 1 grain of rice in the first square and double it for every square, I will consider myself well rewarded. Are you sure? Asked the king. Just grains of rice and not gold? Yes, Your Highness. So it shall be. So the courtiers started placing the grains of rice. 1 on the first square, 2 on the second, 4 on the third, 8 on the fourth square, and so on. By the time they came to the 10th square, they had to place 512 grains of rice. By the 20th square, the number swelled to 5,24,288. When they came to the halfway mark, the 32nd square, the grain count was 214 crores, 74 lakhs, 83,648. Soon the count increased to lakhs of crores. Eventually, the hapless king had to hand over his entire kingdom to the clever poet. And it all began with 1 grain of rice. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of compounding. If you systematically invest a small sum every
Yeah. What is the takeaways from that particular video? Compounding is the 8th wonder in this world. There are 7 wonders in this world. The 8th wonder is compounding. So we don't know that. That is called the behavior and power of compounding. So if you want to reach in a EMI pattern, when you are buying anything, okay, so understand and think twice and thrice, then you can buy that product. Don't jump and get into products which it is not relevant to you. Don't waste your money unnecessary gadgets. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So before that, any questions? We'll give you 30 seconds of 30 minutes of free consultation on how you can able to plan, what is the financial goals you can achieve. There are a lot more things are involved. Okay, so I just have only 1 hour time and mostly into Zoom. So I don't know like how you interacted and how my session would be because people are a lot of silence here. So I feel that the money is a kind of like an interesting subject. Sometimes if you have one-way traffic, if I'm talking, it would be a boring subject as well, right? So we will give you a financial health checkup, and if you have any existing portfolio, we will review and we'll give you that. And if any questions open for it right now, you can ask me.
I'm Ravindran, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes, sir, please, sir.
See, actually, this I think I recalled after seeing your topic, the terminology called FIRE. That is
Exactly.
Financial independence, retire early.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
But that concept, like you rightly indicated, that's not really getting into in Indian context, actually, to my understanding. It's all happening abroad, those who are working there and they're earning very good. Here also people are earning good, but there, I think they want to retire early and come out, start something of their own with some of their friends, etc. And they're doing good, actually. But in Indian context, to my understanding, that is not rooted well, that FIRE part.
Correct.
Because we want to continuously earn till I think 50, 60, 70 and all. No, I think that is a tendency prevailing.
Correct. Correct.
What is your understanding or take on that, madam?
Absolutely, sir. Actually, no, there is an if we can take it into an example of 20 years down the line, we always behind with the government jobs, right? When I was completing my MBA and getting into my job, my father was hesitated to send me into private institutions to do a job. Okay, he used to ask me to get into an any kind of entrance exam and get into a government job. You will get retirement money when you are getting retired. So this is what the
And
parents
pension also.
and yeah. So this is what the parents are like inculcated in their kids' mind. Okay, so whatever you are seeing, okay, in your family, which I gave you an example, there is a guy who is living with their financial family. They are in and out. No, if you can take example of my kids, so whatever we are spending, no, if she's getting an any money, she don't spend. She immediately say, "Mom, you can just take this and invest somewhere. So let that money grow." So how you are creating a habits today, the generation you are saying that like in the US and other countries, they are like before itself they already developed countries. We are reaching into, we are already into a developing. We are at 1 trillion economy now. We are going to be have a 5 trillion economy, but we didn't seen the no kind of like a wealth. So that countries are haven't already seen a wealth. Today only we are seeing a wealth. We are already into a poverty line, right? So the poverty line is very high end in India. So people wants to enjoy. So I'm getting a money now. So if you can see that like this generation might, if you can say in a background, so they might have a very, very low poverty. They might struggle to get even for the food, shelter, cloth, right? So the parents today for the kids, they know they just giving whatever the kids are asking because they don't want to suffer like how they suffered for their kids. So that is the reason the India fire is a concept we're slowly inculcating, not for this generation, definitely next generation will have an idea about how the money management is very important and play a vital role. If you can take an example, there are kids, they are not even completing their degrees. They are just focused on after 12th, where they want to grow, how they want to grow. There are so many kids, you might see in a lot of live examples today, no, after 12, where they just want to focus. Okay, so they just want to invest in a coding and they just want to creating a website, digital marketing, they're earning and they're just investing and they have very focused career. So might be the generation which it is coming it up, they definitely have a choice of fire. But the generation which already into a job and they just having a lavish lifestyle.
I think I disagree with you.
Absolutely, sir.
Because-
Tell me, sir.
Because see, the problem is our education in MBA and other places, everything has become Western oriented. You are also taking of examples of Warren Buffett. You should think of Junjunwala and others, the native wealth creators. So those would be a good
Absolutely.
example for you.
True,
And
true.
the other thing is US economy is more of a spending economy, whereas India, if you look at the traditional, the Indian families, the ladies are they have been trained to be frugal. So the savings mentality is very high in India as well as in Japan. US doesn't want that to happen. So they encourage spending economy. So today, if you look at the concept of savings in US today, I think all your theories will be lost because US is facing a highly high inflation. The value of dollar is coming down. Dollar is no longer a global currency, and therefore it is slowly losing its place as a financial
Crisis.
center. Yeah, center. So you should now look at India as a model rather than US as a model. Your lecture should become totally oriented towards Indian conditions, Indian stock market, Indian thing, then only your this thing will stand. Otherwise, all these theories, which are there, given by your textbooks, which have been printed out of USA. Most of our colleges are following only those textbooks. So there is no learning, traditional learning has been given away to a Western learning, which today is not, in my view, the reality. Okay. So today you have to look at India as a, because Indian growth story is going to be overtaking US growth story. You have to now look at India as an opportunity, land of opportunity. As a exports today are nil. If you look at the industry today, Europe has become totally, it has landed in depression. Germany, there is no demand. US also, there is a problem. So in those circumstances, in these circumstances, US, giving example of US is not going to help. You have to look at India as a land of opportunity, so the entire focus has to be shifted. And here also mutual funds, in some cases, the growth rate on an average 3 to 4 years, you are getting about 30% or so. It is not big. So there are opportunities, but they have to be studied properly. You need to look at the fund manager. You need to look at the the place where it is being invested. What is the kind of fund which is being so many aspects will come here. And inflation also is going to be reducing only. If you look at compared to a global inflation, Indian inflation is very much under control. So under these circumstances, I think you have to look at the concept of savings, investment, everything has to undergo a sea change. Your old theories, which you have been taught in MBAs, may not hold good, I feel. I think we have to substitute the US textbooks with the Indian textbooks and current Indian context. That has to be everywhere I find that's a problem. So
Yes.
I mean,
I agree.
my
I agree
perspective.
with your point. I agree with your point, sir. But some aspect which you told me, Warren Buffett, why I choose in today's trend, what you said is Western economy is overtaken by the Indian economy, even for the culture and for the things which we are following entirely has been followed by the US economy. As you rightly said, US is into a crisis where the Indian economy is growing up. There are a lot of opportunities. Always says no, invest in India. There are a lot of foreign investors are investing in India, even for the iPhone manufacturing companies in India. Okay, there are a lot of developments is happening in India. I didn't say no to it. Yes, Rakesh Junjunwala started his investment. There are a lot of Jambawans in India. Not only Rakesh Junjunwala, there is a guy called Radhakrishnan Dabani, and all North people will take a risk and they invest. All mutual funds which I told and the investments, it is all in a Indian stock market. I never said like international stock market at all. Okay, so only one thing that we don't when I was studying or when I was seeing my father, okay, so he used to he don't even have a knowledge of a kind of like the stock market or SIPs. These SIPs or came up down the line from last 5-6 years. So otherwise we used to have an investments only in either in a real estate or in a kind of like avenues which it is available in a safety and security pattern. You're absolutely right. There are a debate, like, I mean, in a point of like a US market and Indian market, but provided at the end of the day, the fire, it is moving it up. It is really firing it up for every in and out of retire early. Okay, so that is a thing. No, people wants to retire early and they just want to understand no passion and profession. So the passion, no, we just ignore it. We'll behind with the profession, right? So because we are forced to do an active income rather than focusing on a passive income. That is what actually all about the financial freedom which we discussed right now. So
That I agree. You have to look for investment so that your passive income grows.
exactly.
So that will be helping you to have a safety net and all that.
Exactly. So that is what it is. Not only in I never say that like you have to invest only in through an SIP pattern. You need to have a different asset allocations. There are different asset allocations are available. You cannot ignore real estate, you cannot ignore gold, you cannot ignore stock market, you cannot ignore SIP, you cannot ignore fixed deposit, even you cannot ignore savings account. Only thing is you have to create a proper financial planning to have a short term, medium term, and long term goals, to have a risk appetite on your place and to achieve on time to time. That's it. So everything will be fall in place. Only thing is that like whenever we are going catching a bus or train, so we need to know the destiny, right? Without knowing the destiny, we don't know where we will arrive or getting into it. So the same thing, the money management, whatever the signs and whatever the day-to-day life we are seeing, it is all implemented into the money management. That's really fantastic information, Ramji sir.
Any questions from the audience?
Yeah, please ask
But
me
ma'am,
questions.
Ramji is a chartered accountant actually.
Yeah, sir, I'm seeing that. I see that.
Okay.
His name is started from CAM
Yeah,
Ramji.
Ramji, correct.
Yes, sir.
An active member and is a past treasurer, etc.
Wow, that's amazing, sir.
So I think you have really held us wrapped for almost 1.5 1 hour and 15 minutes. Good.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
lot of learning. We learned something, some new new concepts on financial planning. You are also nicely put across the risk, how the risk is going to affect the return, and how one should plan their finances. It's a good meeting, I think. All those, and the cartoon was quite good. The compounding, it's a nice video which you got for us. Thank you, Ms. Padmaja Kavisari, and it has been a nice evening for all of us. Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
on behalf of CMA and all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Kindly share your feedbacks. We have a link called Linktree financialfeathers.com. Kindly take a screenshot and give us valuable feedbacks, any improvement areas, or if you want to reach us, want to have your financial health checkup, or you want to understand your portfolio, want to create your financial freedom, anything, you can reach us at any point of time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kindly give us a feedback. How was the session?
Yeah.
And it would be give a value addition for us.
Sure, sure.
Thank you very much, Ms. Padmaja.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks, Vidya ma'am. Thanks, Meena ma'am, for the nice introduction. Thanks, Vidya ma'am.
Thank you.
Ramji sir.
Thank
Thanks.
you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ramji
Thanks
sir,
and every
Meena ma'am,
audience.
Dr. Ravindran. Thank you, all of the participants also. Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day. See you. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.